So we are on live stream now. All right, good evening, Bhante. Good evening, and all Kayana Mita, Sukihontu.
Good
I'm
evening.
Brother Lim, and welcome to the Sutta discussion day 79 by Bhante Dr. Kanko Dadvila Chandima. Tonight, we are going to discuss about the 8th class of the Sabbāsava Sutta, the topic Āsavās to be abandoned by removing. This Zoom class is always open, and so for those who are interested, please contact us on the Ti-Ratana Aman Perdana Facebook messages. We also have uploaded the previous 78 classes on the Ti-Ratana Vihara Aman Perdana Facebook page and YouTube channel. Our speaker, Bhante Dr. Kanko Davila Chandima, is the senior advisor to Sutta. Sutta is a virtual Dharma organization that helps beginners as well as expert students in learning the Dharma in variety ways. You can check on the Sutta with the link www.patisottablogspot.com. Many people are interested in Dharma Pariyesana, Sotta's most acclaimed interview series, which Bhante conducts on a regular basis. In 2015, Bhante Dr. Chandima earned a PhD in Buddhist study from a university in Jayawarde, Nepal in Sri Lanka. From 2012 to 2016, Bhante served as a Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada. And in 2016, was a research fellow at the Center of Religion and Society of University of Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Without further ado, we welcome Bhante Dr. Chandima, and thank you very much for tonight's talks. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Brother Lim. Good evening, Dharma friends. Welcome back to another Sutta discussion, Friday Sutta discussion, which we've been discussing about Sabbāsava Sutta. Brother Lim, would you mind looking into the Facebook format? Could you check whether it is under the gallery view, under the settings, Zoom settings? Okay. All right. So today we have Brother Lim, Nai, Kim, Sadhris, Jenny is new to this Sutta discussion. Corina, Sumit also new. Barbara, Melinda also new. New faces, Jacqueline, Clarence, Chung, and Wu. Welcome everybody, and I hope that some others might join as we proceed. So before we get started, let's pay respect to the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tasse bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhasse. Namo tasse bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhasse. Namo tasse bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhasse.
Over Canada. And in 2016,
So, for the new ones who are joining today, you could always go back to previous sessions. And I know that Jenny has been attending to my Monday Sutta discussion at Buddhist Mahavihara, in which I will be discussing this sutta again, starting from November 27. And others are, I guess, they are pretty much onto this live discussion. Oh, do we have another new person? Roger Kia? Probably a new one.
Bhante, he's my husband. I'm using his handphone because my handphone no video.
Okay, no problem. Okay. All right. So the sutta which we have been discussing the last, I guess, 5 to 6 weeks. Sabbāsava Sutta. Now, Sabbāsava Sutta is an interesting sutta because this is the sutta where the Buddha particularly teaches us that akusalas, in your own words, kilesas, cannot be overcome in one way, in one method. There are 7 methods to deal with it. If we understand that there are 7 methods, then there are 7 types of akusalas existing for us to overcome in 7 ways. So we've been discussing for probably 5 methods so far. Today we will be discussing the 6th method, and then next Friday will be the last method. Right? None of the methods are going to be last for us because we will have to deal with them on a daily basis, right? Okay. Let's see the text over here. Okay. Today we will be discussing this, what we call the 6th method. And next week will be the last one. This is called Vinodana. What is it called in Pali? Vinodana. What is this Pali word about? Vinodana. Yeah? Vinodana. Now, Vinoda means, I would say, a Pali word. Even in the Sinhala language, they call it as fun. Fun. Joy, fun. Something that you do to have fun. Something that you do to have joy. But if you look at the word, you see the background of this having that kind of a joy. V means to particularly, then Nodana has nut. There's a Pali verb stem called nut. Call it nut. Nut is to, you could say, destroy, remove, those kind of words. So, if you want to be happy, if you want to be jovial, joyful, then you have to remove, you have to, what you call, I would say remove unnecessary mental states, right? You can't be jovial if you keep any akusala, I would say not even akusala, probably negative thoughts, right? Now, in today's world, people talk about positivity and negativity. Are these two terms always morally connected? Not necessarily. When people say positivity, and I want to be positive, you have to be positive. It's not always, I would say, ethically connected. Ethically, it's an ethically neutral word. But there are certain contexts where we take positivity or positive thoughts as being very ethical, and negativity as being very akusal. But positive, negative, they can be neutral, ethically neutral. They can be ethically positive. Just as the word called sila. The Pali word called sila. Is sila always about that good morality? Not always. In many suttas, Buddha talk about good sila and bad sila. Right? Good sila, bad sila. If sila is prescribed by good and bad, then you can't say it is always ethically positive. Let's say someone breaks 5 precepts. So in the event of someone breaking 5 precepts, that person can be called by somebody like the Buddha that you have the bad sila. You don't have the good sila. What is the good sila? 5 precepts. What are the 5 precepts? Not killing, not stealing, not misbehaving, not lying, not
intoxicated.
not clouding the mind, and not even the intoxicants. There may be many other things that you will create intoxication. Right? But primarily when you are intoxicated, it will definitely cloud the mind. Is it the mere avoidance of those actions that will make you a Sila person, or there is something else? How do we take the Sila? Now, let's say someone might say, I don't kill, I don't steal, I don't misbehave, I don't lie, I don't take intoxicants, so that I'm going to be intoxicated. I'm not doing any of these things. So I have Sila. Someone can declare, I have a lot of Sila. Is that the way how we look at Sila, or Sila has to be understood from a different perspective, probably a little higher perspective? Now, I always pick up a very interesting example. A 3-month-old infant. Right? A 3-month-old infant. So that if you take a 3-month-old infant, does a 3-month-old infant kill other beings? Steal other stuff? Misbehave? No idea about what is misbehaving to them, unless they're gonna be naughty, in that household. And does that 3-month-old infant lie? Children normally don't lie, especially those small ones. They cannot lie. And then the last one is, does a 3-month-old infant take intoxicants? No. So then you can say the 3-month-old, probably my granddaughter, your grandson, maybe somebody's son or daughter, is having lots of Sila. Is it true?
Not so.
You look at them, they are not doing anything. They are not killing, they are not stealing, they are not misbehaving. They are doing nothing out of that. So does that mean they have Sila? No. Sila is not the mere avoidance of those activities. Avoidance of those activities is necessary. But Sila means an intentional avoidance of those activities. I am not killing because that will harm them, that will harm myself in the sansara. I am not stealing because I know they will be very sad about losing their stuff. And I will create my own bad karmas. And I'm not misbehaving because if I misbehave, my family will be broken in this life, probably in the next life. I won't have a good marriage, good relationship with anybody. I'm not lying because if I lie, there are consequences for other people because they will be misled and I will be having my own consequences. So not anybody will trust me, and then I will have self-hatred towards me because I lied to other people. I'm not taking intoxicants because if I'm clouded with those intoxicants, I might attack, I might risk other people's lives. Normally, there's a very often said statement, somebody's drunk, then probably knock somebody on the road, run over, and then when the police ask who did that, I don't know. Oh, he is lying, and then took other person's life and break Panatipata and breaks Adinadana and misbehaved on the road, and then break the 3rd precept and breaks the 4th precept light, and then the 5th one is the starting point. So sometimes when the drunk people, when they are not sober, they're going to break all these precepts. It could happen from other precepts too. So then someone who has good Sila understands why I do not take intoxicants, because it will harm other people's lives with my actions, my speech, my thoughts, and also it will harm myself, right? I might lose my mindfulness, right mindfulness, right? So now you understand good Sila, bad Sila. Sila means not just the mere absence of those actions, it is the intentional avoidance. Now, is this very mandatory to you before you meditate? Is Sila mandatory before you meditate?
Yes.
It is. At the beginning of any meditation retreat, not even a retreat, when you meditate at home, that is your comfort zone, right? You start your day with some sila. Today, I'm not going to do. Yesterday, I kept to those precepts. Not in a very disturbing way, right? And then that will help you to calm your mind, organize your thoughts in a good way. All right. So, Vinodana means removing. Now the translation goes by destroying. I think a better word could be removing too. So you're going to remove some of the defilements, āsavās. You're going to overcome some of the defilements by removing unnecessary thoughts. Let's see. But normally I ask people to read that just to get familiar with the text too. It's a very small section. Probably I'm going to ask somebody to read from here. Maybe I would read first. Vinodana pahatabāsava. Āsavā pahata. Āsavā vinodana pahata. Some āsavās. When you say āsavās, some āsavās that are particular to this method should be overcome by removing. Or you could say destroying too. Katamecha bhikkhave āsavā vinodana pahatappa. Ida bhikkhave bhikkhu patisankāyoniso annam kāmavitakka nādivāsi. Our Pali readers can do this. Who would like to read? Could read from here to Kama, Vyapada. Yeah, probably until here. The section. Oh, okay. Yes.
But I'll try. Katami cha bhikkhave āsavā vinodana pahatava. Ida bhikkhave bhikkhu patisankha yoniso uppanam kama vitakam nadivasati pachahati vinodati yanti karati byanti karoti anabhavam anabhavam gameti. I think you got to make it bigger.
Yeah, make it little.
Uppanam vyapadivatakam nadivasati pajahati vinodati vyati karoti anabhavam gamati. Gameti. Uppanam vihimsavitakam nadivasati pajahati vinodati vyati karoti anabhavam gameti. Upanupane pāpake akusala dame nadivasati pajahati vinodati vyati karoti anabhavam gamati.
Gameti, yeah. Good. Yeah. Very good attempt. Yes. All right. So it is always good to read, do your self-reading. Probably what we do in our Pali class, a lot of people read so they understand their pronunciation and all that. So it's good. Right. What does this section talk about, especially in terms of the method? Removing them. Katamecha bhikkhave āsavā vinodana pahatappa ida bhikkhave bhikkhu patisankāyoniso uppanam. Patisankha. Let's talk about this Pali word. What is patisankha? Patisankha yoniso. Patisankha.
Reflecting.
Consideration, probably consideration. Now, I think I already let you know that this Pali word is always used by the monastics when they eat, when they using their clothing, robes. and then when they are using shelter, when they are using medicines, all that. Then yoniso. Yoniso means,
wise attention.
yeah, we call yoniso manasikara as wise, but there is no manasikara. Patisankha yoniso.
Wisely or properly.
As you can see, there is no manasikara. Where is
Wise,
manasikara?
reflecting
It
appropriate.
only talks about patisankha and yoniso. So we take patisankha as what we call consideration, yoniso as wise. What does wise, how does wise connect to yoniso? What is yoniso? Yoni means the origin. Origin. Yoniso manasikara means trying to understand anything from its origin. You could say from its cause. Now, isn't this the Patisamuppada all about? Paticcasamuppada, the central conception of Buddhism, says that there is always a cause to any effect. There's always a cause to any result. And then that result or effect causes another cause. So Buddhist way is that Buddhism always asks us to look at the cause of the problem, right? How did the Buddha ask us to do it? Or where did the Buddha ask us to do it? Look at the cause, look at it. Where did the Buddha say to us, when you are going through a problem in your life, normal problems, maybe spiritual problems or whatever the problem, then Buddha asks us to look at the cause of that problem. Where did the Buddha talk about it? Where did the Buddha ask him? Now you have to rationalize, think about it. Where does this fit, this concept of looking at the cause? In the Four Noble Truths. Didn't he tell us, look at the cause of your dukkha? First Noble Truth is about the dukkha. And then cause of the dukkha. Then ending of that dukkha. And then the path that leads to that ending. So then the cause. Without knowing the cause, we cannot do anything. We cannot practice the Noble Eightfold Path. Then cause. But is it always practical for us to look at the cause when we're going to solve problems? Sometimes we have to see the result too. That's why some people say, I'm a very result-oriented person. Result-oriented. This is kind of a managerial word. Yes, sometimes we may have to look at the result too. But what you have to understand here is that understand the both areas, primarily about the cause. Now, when people are asking, mosquitoes are biting me, what should I do? Should I kill or should I let them go? That kind of a question starts from not understanding the cause of the event. Why did the mosquitoes come in? Probably you may have not closed your doors and probably your windows. Maybe you are not careful about those vents. Maybe you are not doing anything for that. And then now the result has arisen because of not considering about the cause, right? So there are so many things you can see happen when you don't estimate about the cause, right? So yoniso means being able to see anything from its origin. Yoniso manasikara means whenever you see anything, you are trying to see from a very objective point of view. Why is it? Because we are always looking at things from a very subjective point of view. Right? Now, when you see a flower vase, you see, your mind does not normally go to that flower vase. Why is it? You are always going to think about other flower vases you may have seen before this flower vase. Maybe something like that. You are not able to give a unique attention to that. That is why the Buddha said, maybe this flower vase, he didn't say flower vase, I'm taking the example. Maybe this particular object can be very unique than your subjective experience. Now, this is what we understand by vipassana. What does vipassana mean? Now, there are two ways to understand vipassana. Seeing things as they are. As they are come from that watching the original place of how they are made, right? Or seeing how things come to be. Both 5 aggregates and then the 4 elements. Anyways, they are a little deeper stuff, but we'll stop at that place called yoniso, means being able to see from its origin. Now, when people are quarreling each other, slandering each other, bad-mouthing each other, thinking about what made this conflict to arise, what led this issue, happen this way. Always going back to the cause, at the same time minimizing the issues with the result. Yours. Then, now, in this case, it is a monk. You could say it is you. Now you are trying to consider anything in this context, maybe your thoughts with what you call wisdom, yoniso, wise consideration. What are you supposed to look at with wise consideration? Uppanna kama vitakka. Kama vitakka. Vitakka. What does vitakka mean? Have you ever heard this Pali word? Vitakka. V-I-T-A-K-K-A.
Yeah, thoughts, initial application.
Yes. Initial application.
That is the jhana context.
Jhana factor.
Vitakka is a loaded word. Okay? It is a loaded word that has many meanings, like sankhara, like dhamma. So we have, that's why when people ask me, which dictionary is better? Which Pali dictionary is better? I say, well, you could go for a standardized Pali dictionary. But the problem is, how do you understand the meaning of that particular word if you don't know the particular context? Each context is different, right? But anyways, you will understand some meanings. So here, vitakka is a loaded word. It has many meanings. One meaning, very famous, what you call the Sutta meaning is, vitakka is thought. Thought. You could say chitta is a thought, but here, vitakka. We will be studying another sutta after this called Vitakka Santhana Sutta. It's about the thoughts. That is the sutta explanation. Another meaning of vitakka is what Melinda just now said. It's about the jhana perspective. Now, normally, Acharya Buddhaghosa uses this word in his, what he calls, Visuddhimagga. I encourage you to read the early Nikayas first. Don't read Visuddhimagga in the first place, because Visuddhimagga is a work that has been done by a monk in Sri Lanka, right? So read the Nikayas first, then you can read Visuddhimagga if necessary. But if you read Visuddhimagga and think that it is Buddhism, and then try not to understand about the early Nikayas, you might be like, what is this? Right? So that is the issue. So in the Visuddhimagga, in some of the suttas also we see vitakka as the initial level of your thought processing. Right? And vitakka has also been given in the Abhidhamma. It is given in the Abhidhamma. How was it given in the Abhidhamma? Abhidhamma talks about some chetasikas that are happening compulsorily with each thought. They talk about chitta chetasika. So there are 7 chetasikas, right? And in that analysis, Abhidhamma also talks about few other chetasikas. Out of those chetasikas, we find vitakka is one of them. So there are many meanings attached to vitakka. Now here you need to simply understand vitakka means thought. Now, what kind of a thought has come to this person's mind? Kama vitakka. Kama vitakka. Probably a little bit. Yeah, kama vitakka. Now I want you to understand what does kama mean. Kama.
Sense desire.
Sense desire. Now, it is also a loaded word. Huh? That's the problem. Kama. Sense desire is one meaning. But normally when you say kama is the sense desire, it has to be kama raga. Kama raga is sense desire.
Sensuality.
Bhante, can we say manner or order?
Kama.
For karma, can we say order or manner?
There may be some other meanings to kama like that, but kama generally means, as Sumita said, sensuality. Right? But there are other words that are attached to kama. Kama raga, kama sankappa. Now here, kama vitakka. Now this is a very normal moment. Like whenever you spend your day, you might sometimes have some kama thoughts. Right? Are kama thoughts always arising for people only? No, kama thoughts are arising for other things too. Let's talk about different kamas. Rupa kama, Saddha kama, Gandha kama, right? Pottabba kama, Dhamma kama. Let's talk about them. Maybe I'm going to write them here so you will understand. Rupa kama, Saddha kama, Gandha kama, Rasa kama, Pottabba kama.
Five sense
Yeah, 5 sense.
desire.
Pottabba kama, then Dhamma kama. Now you will understand kama can be very different, right? There are different kamas. What is Rupa kama? Rupa kama. Rupa kama means?
Forms.
What is it?
Rupa, form.
Form, is it?
Object.
Form of
Sensuality arising from the Rupa. Any sensuality arising from the Rupa. What are those types of kamas? Can you think about an example? Someone who you really like, something which you really like. Right?
pretty.
Yeah, pretty, beautiful. But those are attributes of what you call humans, and also characteristic of inanimate things too. Maybe equipment, maybe property, maybe an item, right? Whatever sensuality that is arising from objects. By seeing them, you see them, and then that sensuality, what you call sensuality, form sensuality in the form of form arising. Saddha kama, sound of somebody. Right? When some people are talking in your life, your ears are always, right, capturing those sounds. And as time goes on, you may have some kamas about those sounds, right? Kamas about, so sensuality which relates to the sound. We call it Saddha kama. Then Gandha kama. Gandha kama means
Smell.
sensuality arising from the smell. Whenever you are attached to a certain aroma, certain smell, certain perfume, right? Right? You may not be able to, you can't help not going away, walking away from that particular smell, some aromas, right? And that means you may have a certain strong, solid sensuality attached to that particular smell. And also the other side too. You may not have a what you call a pleasant one. that is an unpleasant karma, right? Let's say you discuss a certain smell, right? So it's not a sensuality, but it is the opposite of the sensuality, which applies to the previous ones too. Then rasa karma. Rasa karma means
From the taste.
sensuality
From the
arising from the taste. Right? So watching the mouth is very difficult in today's world, right? What to eat, what to talk, what not to talk, and what to eat and what not to eat. These sections are very difficult for many people, right? They're getting sick and they're getting into unnecessary problems, right? So watching the mouth in terms of speech and the food is a big task for many people, you know? Right? So rasa karma means that your taste has been attached to a certain taste. Right? You can't help not having those tasty stuff, right? Maybe the food, those things, taste, rasa karma. Then pottabha karma. Pottabha karma means, pottabha means,
Touch.
what is touch? Then do you have any karmas arising from the touch? So many karmas. If you cannot sit down in the desired, preferred seat, chair, if you cannot sleep on that particular bed that you are wishing to sleep, right? So there are lots of karmas attached to our touch. Right? As we age, we are very much concerned about the touch, right? Looking for, definitely, you know, people may have some health issues, right? As we age, we have lots of, things to choose and, right? Probably to cherry pick, right? Anyways, this can happen to many too. So we call it pottabha karma. The last karma is dhamma karma. Dhamma karma means, that's an interesting area of karma. So I would give you a hint. This has two meanings, dhamma karma. What does dhamma mean here means? Dhamma?
Nature. Phenomena.
Phenomena.
doctrine.
Mm.
The truth.
You are reading the whole translations of the dictionary, yeah? Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Here, dhamma means thought. Another word for the thought.
Oh,
On the other side, mano, and here dhamma. Dhamma karma means liking towards any of your thoughts. Now you think about when you start your day in the morning. I like this particular thought. I want to spend the whole day today with this thought. But suddenly someone calls you and then start gossiping about somebody else. You know, oh, my peace is canary. Maybe things happen. You have to expect these situations too. So any liking towards certain thoughts, right? Let me ask you, do you have any such thoughts that you wish to spend on them during the day? I want to spend on this particular thought for at least 1 hour. Somebody might say, yes, my meditation, why not? I mean, other than the meditation, do you have any other thoughts? You might not need to tell me, but just give me.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yes,
Sometimes
because you feel very good about those thoughts, you know. Then you have Dhamma karma, right? You have Dhamma karma. That's what we understand here. Another meaning of Dhamma karma is like in the Buddha's Dhamma karma. Where do we find it? Suvijanu bhavan bhotis. Suvijanu. Dhamma kamo bhavan bhoti. Dhamma desi Parabhava Sutta. In the Parabhava Sutta, Buddha says, there are people who hate Dhamma. There are people who like Dhamma. Maybe we can go to Parabhava Sutta and see it. Let's see that. Parabhava Sutta. So,
It's the downfall, is it? Bhante?
Yeah.
Downfall.
Okay, this is Parabhasa. Suvijano bhavan hoti suvijano. The person who is progressing can be easily seen. The person who is not progressing also can be easily seen. Dhamma kamo bhavan hoti dhamma desi parabhav. The person who is growing well can be easily seen because that person likes Dhamma. Dhamma kama. And Dhamma here, desi means who hates Dhamma. The person who hates Dhamma will never grow. Now, it might not be the Buddha's Dhamma. Dhamma is a universal word. Somebody might say it is Hindu Dhamma, it is Islam Dhamma, it might be Christian Dhamma and all that, right? Anyways, so now you know there are 6 types of kamas. What are they? Can anybody name them in Pali? Rupa kama, Sabda kama, Gandha kama, Rasa kama, Pottabha kama, and Dhamma. Now, what does Dhamma kama mean here? What does Dhamma mean here? Thought. And the other meanings that a couple of you said, I want to explain them too a little bit. The nature of anything is also Dhamma. We call it Dhamma of my life. Dhamma of my life. And then Dhamma of the world. Dhamma of anything. The nature. So this is pretty much an Abhidhammic explanation about Dhamma. Another meaning is, the famous one is teaching. Teachings of anybody. But that Dhammas, D has to be uppercase. D has to be capital. Right? And what are the other meanings we talk about for Dhamma? Yeah, there are many other meanings. So nature, phenomena, thoughts, definitely.
Tendency.
Morality, good conduct.
Yes. So we have to understand them according to the context. So let's go back to the text again, because we have to talk more about the text. All right. Patisankhayo nusupana kama vitakka. Now assume that someone has kama vitakka. Whatever the kama. What kind of kamas could be here? What kind of kamas could be referred to this point? Rupa kama, maybe Saddha kama, maybe Gandha kama, maybe Rasa kama, maybe Pottabha kama, maybe Dhamma kama. Maybe sensuality attached to the, what you call, form, sensuality attached to the sound, sensuality attached to what you call, smell, taste, touch, and the thoughts. But because they are kamas, there are certain akusalas that you may have, because you might tolerate that kama vitakka, that kama thought. Right? Here the Buddha says, if somebody can do these particular activities for that particular karma, or the other two, we have vyapada and then what you call vihimsa, then the āsavās, what you call influxes or defilements that are arising out of that attachment to those thoughts can be what you call overcome. Let's see. Nadivaseti. Adivaseti means tolerate. Now, when a karma thought arises in us, normally in society, what are people doing with that karma thought? Do they let it happen? Or do they let it stop? Do they let it go? What is the normal nature of many people? Mostly people do not let it go. People let it grow. Right? Let it grow. They let it grow, not let it go. So the problem is that when they let it grow, then what happens? The karmas will be double, triple, and quadruple, and then a lot of mess going to happen to them. But what about a very sumptuous dinner? You like the food, now you have a lot of rasa karmas now, tasty karmas. How would you respond to that thing? You are sitting down in a roundable table and lots of delicious food in front of you. So how would you respond to this? Rasakama. You still have the Rupakama, looking at those food, very delicious, huh? Texture is good, healthy food, Rupakama. Now people are saying, look at that dish. You have the Saddakamas also. Then the smell, you have now what you call Gandhakamas coming from these dishes, plates. And then Rasakama is going to happen now, after all, And then Pottabakama, you feel good now, And then you have Dhammakamas too. Lots of thoughts are rising now in your mind. That means a good dinner might bring you all the kamas. Is it bad? Is it bad to enjoy the meals? It's not bad, right? It's not bad. But it depends on how you look at it, how you name them, how you give the meaning to those kamas, right? The Buddha never opposes to someone who enjoys food. As a layperson, even as a monastic, rather, bringing lots of akusalas, unnecessary akusalas toward the food, right? So now the Buddha says, if you are bringing unnecessary likings, I would say greed toward those things, in this case, it's maybe food, then you should not tolerate. Nadi vasit means you should not tolerate. Let me ask you a question. In our life, sometimes do we have to spoil us? Do we have to spoil us? Immerse in sensuality. People say, Kamasukallikana yoga. Do we have to? People might say, no, it's okay, once in a while, it's okay to get spoiled. People say, introverts. It's up to them, because we are not going to control anybody. We are looking at life as it is and what we could do to become happy by not harming anybody. This is what we are trying to say. We are not going to decide for other people's choices. But the Buddha says that, yes, it's up to you. If you can manage yourself, then you know what to do. And then here now, you are not going to tolerate any akusala thoughts that are attached to that particular kama, rupa, saddha, gandha, rasa, pottabha, dhamma. Pajahati, you are going to abandon. You are going to, give up those kama vitakkas. These are similar Pali words, but they carry different meanings too. Vinodeti, once again, you can see here, remove that kama thought. Bhyanti karoti. What does it mean? Bhyanti. Now, normally when you talk about it, you would say Vyanti karoti. Vyanti, V, not B. Vyanti means to end it, to end that akusala thought whenever it arises. What is easier? Is it to, end a thought, end an akusala thought after some time, or is it to end it at the time it arises? Which one is easier? At the time of rising is easier and more practical. Then you take time and look back, no, now I can't cut it short, I have to keep doing this thing. This is applicable to all the habits, good and bad habits, right? When you form it, it is little difficult to get rid of it, right? It's like that somebody is trying to cut down on the smoking. The doctors say you can't stop smoking. If you smoke 10 cigarettes, you can actually bring to 5, maybe 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, slowly. Same way it applies that kind of methodology to the bad, habits. All right, so Bhyanti karoti means here to end it as it arises. Anabhavam gamiti. Anabhavam means wipe it out of existence. That means now when an akusala arises, there is a certain environment that you are seeing happening, right? Now say for instance, when you like something too much, when you like someone too much, then are you creating a new situation in that particular moment? Yes, you are going to defend that person. You are going to do a favor. Probably you might do a lot of things to back up your favoritism, whatever your preference, right? Yes, you may do so in order to protect people, good people, right? everybody practicing metta. But here, anabhavam gamita means whenever a kama vitakka is going to arise, you need to wipe it out so that you are not creating the subsequent environment that it can create. Now, say for instance, when someone is going to be angry, that person can think about, project about the situation. After I become angry, I'm going to yell at everybody. I'm going to, so I am not going to let it happen. So I'm going to stop at this point. I'm not going to tolerate. I'm not going to let it grow. I'm going to let it go. Maybe I'm going to actually abandon, give it up. Finally, I'm going to, close all the areas that might happen, that might arise when I'm not really taking care of that particular akusala thought. So this is for kama vitakka. So are the other thoughts. What are the other thoughts? Kama is one. This is the first one. Then here you can see, where is it? Vyapada. This is the second. What does vyapada mean? Then vihimsa. This is the third one. Kama, first one. Second one, vyapada. Third one, vihimsa. What does vyapada mean? Vyapada, ill will. This is the famous translation, but we understand. But vyapada's meaning in the way of ill will has to be more explained. We understand vyapada to be a thought, maybe intentions to destroy other people, other beings. It means before panatipata, someone is succumbed to the vyapada. Right? Before someone is going to destroy other beings' life, then before that panatipata is going to work, then the vyapada has already come up into that person's mindset. So vyapada not only means a physical destroy, it also means character assassination. All right, character assassination. Maybe destroying other people on internet, social media. There are people who are destroying other people's reputation, right? Bad mouthing about other people just to destroy those beings at the end of the day, right? Now, I always share this interesting example. When the Buddha wakes up after sleeping 2-3 hours in the morning, the first thing he is doing is that not going to meditation. The first thing he's doing is that who are the beings that I'm going to help today?
Yes.
With karuna, compassion, mahakaruna. Not even my personal meditation. Just think about how altruistic is he. This is the example. This is what we have to learn. Not that, okay, I'm gonna do my own meditation. I'm gonna tell you about it, right? So the Buddha shows this example to all of us. The first thing he's looking for is that who are the beings that who need my immediate help today? Then he might have seen people who are going to die today, like the Bahya Daruchiri, Matta Kundali, the young girl who was in the Aggalava. She's going to die that day. So Buddha said, I'm going to do a quick trip to the Aggalava, and I'm going to do a quick trip to Bahya Daruchiriya's area, because he wants to help out people. So our life has to start from thinking about how to be compassionate. Early in the day, we will do our own meditation. In order to do that, we need meditation.
Mm-hmm.
In order to be more compassionate, we need meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we meditate and not being compassionate towards other people. So that is why we have to understand here Vyapada as a thought of an intention to destroy other people, destroy other people's life, other people's character, other people's fame, whatever. Actually, if you come up with any thoughts to kill someone, to destroy someone's faith, that means you are not having the fundamental Buddhist qualities. They are fundamental Buddhist qualities. If you are a Buddhist, if you are a follower of the Buddha, you can never have a thought of, even someone who is giving you a very hard, bad time. There are people who might be giving lots of, hard time on a daily basis. We are not always thinking, maybe it's my karma. Whether it is karma or not, you are looking at it. Maybe whatever I'm going through today is a good lesson for me to practice, maybe a good opportunity for me to practice Dhamma. That's how we're going to look at it. We might need to do certain things to keep us safe from those people, but at the same time, these are good opportunities for us to practice my own Dhamma, practice more compassion, right? So, Vyapada means intentions to destroy other beings, life, whatever they are, everything. Then, when someone comes up with the thought of destroying other people, even anybody of you, anybody of us, what should we do in the first place? You never tolerate that thought. Immediately, when it arises, no, I'm not going to tolerate. No, I'm not going to do that. That is what the Buddha is here to do. But if you tolerate 1 second, then a lot of defilements about this particular method going to come up, arise. You are not even able to, manage them after 1 second, 1 or 2 couple seconds, 1 minute, 1 hour, no point written. A lot of bad thoughts have already arisen, right? You are looking at a safe approach, a safe thing to do for those people. Not the bad guys, those disturbing people. You are looking at them in a very different way, not like a normal person. Then Vihimsa Vitakka, last one. You can see here, Vihimsa. What does Vihimsa mean? Vihimsa means harassing other beings. Whenever a thought of harassing other people, torturing other people, in today's world, people have a different term for this. Bullying other people. There are people who are bullying others all the time. They bully in the classroom. They bully in the university. They bully at work. They bully on the road. I hope they are not bullying in the temple, right? I hope not. Bullies are everywhere now, right? So anyways, so whatever harassing thoughts are going to arise in our life, because we are unenlightened people in some, circumstances, we should not tolerate. Whenever such a thought arises, then we are going to say, no, I'm not going to tolerate. I am going to immediately give it up. I'm going to stop this happening. Then you are into the practice. So whatever the akusalas that are going to arise will be removed at that moment. This is what this particular method is saying. Whenever kama vitakka, vyapada vitakka, vihimsa vitakka arises, you are going to not tolerate such thoughts. You are going to give it up, give them up at that moment. Then whatever the akusalas, influxes, āsavās, defilements that are going to happen will be swept away, will be removed at that time itself, right? Now you can think about whenever you have a lot of house chores to do, maybe cleaning, mopping, maybe you are getting ready for Chinese New Year, right? Whatever things. Whenever you are not finishing the daily things at that time, then after a couple of days, a lot of things will be piled up. You will be messed up in your mind. I haven't done that, I haven't done this. Then there's a huge backlog you have to clear. Maybe you will be a little uneasy, you will be irritated, you might talk not good to other people too. That's why, in the same way, whenever you are not going to do the certain necessary things for these kama vitakkas, vyapada vitakkas, vihimsa vitakkas, at the time, at that particular right time, then they are going to give you a really hard time. Now, let's go to the sutta again. Finally, the Buddha says here, yang hissa bhikkhave avino dayato pajjayu āsavā Vighata parilaha vinodayato evasmate asava vighata parilaha na honti. That means whatever the defilements, especially those burning annoyances, all vighata is burning, what do you call annoyances, and parilaha means burning. Burning, vighata means annoyances. Whatever the burning annoyances that are born out of somebody's mismanaging these three vitakkas will not arise in anybody who is doing the proper thing, who is going to do the necessary things for them. So when someone is not tolerating kama, vyapada, vihinsa, vitakkas, then that person will not deal with any burning annoyances in his or her life. Now, have you ever found out the same context in other suttas? How many of you had read the Girimananda Sutta? Monks chant the Bojjhanga Suttas, they sometimes chant Girimananda Sutta. Girimananda Sutta has 10 sannyas. Bhante Ananda tells the Buddha, there is a monk called Girimananda who cannot come, he is severely sick. Then the Buddha teaches Bhante Ananda 10 sanya perceptions, and then you learn from me, and then you go tell him these 10 sanyas. Finally, monk Girimananda recovered. One of the sanyas is Pahana Sanya. Let me show you. Anguttara Nikaya is, say, 10.60. You see here those 10 sanya. We go to the Pahana Sanya. Katama Achananda Pahana Sanya, Idananda Bhikkhu, Uppannang Kama Vitakkam, Nadivaseti Pajahati Vinodeti, Bhante Karoti Anabhavakam. Uppannam Vyapada Vitakkam, Nadivaseti Pajahati Vinodeti, Bhante Karoti Anabhavakam. Uppannang Vihinsa Vitakkam, Nadivaseti Pajahati Vinodeti, Bhante. Isn't it the same? The same context, the same section that has been given as the Pahana Sanya. That means whenever you bring this understanding to your mind, even your sicknesses will be gone away. Now, this is one of the sanya that the Buddha recommended for monk Girimananda. Right? Actually, it is true. Whenever you think about this Kama Sanya, Vyapada Sanya, Vihinsa Sanya, what we call Kama Vitakkas, then Vyapada Vitakkas and Vihinsa Vitakkas, and the need of not tolerating them, and the need of abandoning, giving up on them, then most of our, what we call akusalas that are at the point of mind will be what we call sort of managed at that point. They are not going to happen. All right. Any questions about this question here? Bhante, what does sanya means? Sanya means perception. Perception. Sanya, we all have sanya. Animals also have sanya. Deva also have sanya. Every human being, every being has sanya. Sanya means perception. We do two things to create sanya. One thing is to make a note for the past and make a note for the future. All right. Any questions so far? Will you come up with a question? Let me remind you something. When we study about the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, we studied about each part factor, Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, and so on. Have you ever found out these vitakkas anywhere in the noble eightfold path factors? You must have seen them under Samma Sankappa. What does Samma Sankappa mean? To have Nekkamma Sankappa. That means then if you are not tolerating kama sankappa, what sankappa you have to, what vitakka sankappa, they are similar. What sankappa or vitakka you should tolerate? Nekkamma sankappa. That means you need to tolerate nekkamma sankappa. Then if you are not tolerating vyapada sankappa, then what sankappa you should tolerate? Avyapada sankappa. Thoughts of not destroying other people, thoughts of them taking care of other people, right? If you are not tolerating the harassing thoughts, bullying other people, this kind of thought, then what kind of thought regarding that you have to tolerate? Avihimsa sankappa, not harassing thoughts. Now let's bring it to our normal life. What is a nekkamma sankappa? Nekkamma, renunciation, thoughts about the renunciation. In our daily life, are we more to the renunciation or are we more to the piling up things, hoarding? I want this and that. I want to bring this also, that also. My house is still empty. I have to bring this photograph, that one, this one. Hoard, pile up, stockpiling. What are we doing on a daily basis? We would like to bring stuff over to the house. Okay, it's okay to bring, to buy stuff. So we are more to the kama, not to the nekkamma. Nekkamma means we should be able to renounce. Renounce means we should be able to renounce the rupa kama, saddha kama, gandha kama, rasa kama, pottabba kama, dhamma kama. How can we do that? Now, whenever we are going to eat very sumptuous food, we are thinking, instead of eating such food, once in a while, we're going to give those desired sumptuous meals to other people. Today, I am going to give it a break. Give a break to my rasakam. It is not an easy feeling, but it will be a great feeling after that. Because we have the nekkamma sankappa in terms of the rasakam. Then, what about the other areas of nekkamma sankappa? Without this particular sound of somebody or that, I have not been able to do my things on a day. But today I'm not going to listen to that. I'm not going to hear. Today I'm trying to be different than my normal urge to hear something. So you can spend the day. Try it. Isn't this what you are doing when you go to a retreat, meditation retreat? You are not looking at your mobile phone. You are not going to use it for a week, maybe for 2 weeks. Is it an easy thing? You always go check what people post, what are they doing. The mind is always bombarded by a lot of information. It's an information factory over there. Not even you are looking at information, you are trying to feed your mind with all these information, what other people doing over there. Right? So one day you are trying to give it a break. I'm not going to look at it. I'm trying to see what is happening around me in my own mindset. Right? Nekkamma sankappa in terms of maybe dhamma kama. So you can see nekkamma sankappa, in many ways in your daily life. Right? Then what about the avyapada sankappa? How can we practice that? If you are someone who is always irritated about other people, maybe someone who is really like, you get easily upset about, you get easily annoyed by the people. You might give it a break. Maybe I'm not going to be annoyed today. Whatever you do, I'm not going to be annoyed. I'm trying to look at my own peace. Right? Whatever other people do, I'm not going to respond to these people, react to those people. So, why people are trying to create lots of terrible intentions to destroy other people? Because they want to respond to others. I'm going to do this to them. I'm going to do this to them. So one day you are thinking, maybe from tomorrow, I'm not going to do that. I will do something else. Then this is going to be your avyapada sankappa from that day onwards. I hope you are doing all of them. I'm not saying that you are not doing any of them. I assume you've been doing already. You are on that journey. I'm just telling you just to encourage you to do more. Last one. Avihimsa Sankam. I don't think you are bullies at any point. If other people can try to bully you, but there are a lot of bullies, as I said earlier. So, harassing thoughts, for whatever the purpose of harassing thought, a thought of torturing other people, mentally, physically, emotionally. How can the bullies bully other people? Physically, mentally, emotionally, right? So, if you are somebody who is even once in a while come up with that kind of a thought, then you can think about, no, I'm not going to harass anybody, even emotionally. I'm going to give them the space. If such a harassing thought arises in my mind because I'm ignorant, probably I'm not mindful at that particular moment, I'm going to let it go. I don't want to encourage it. Same thing, right? What we discussed today. Nadi vaseti pajahati vinodeti byanti karoti anabhavangamit. Then you are practicing avihimsa sankappa as well. Then, if you are not tolerating kama sankappa, then you have to tolerate nekkama sankappa. If you are not tolerating vyapada sankappa, you won't tolerate avyapada sankappa. That is what we have to do. If you are not tolerating vihimsa sankappa, you're going to tolerate avihimsa sankappa, becoming the person who even practices samma sankappa. Samma sankappa means nekkama sankappa, avyapada sankappa, avihimsa sankappa. Whenever you practice these three thoughts, intentions. Let me ask you, people around you in your life, when you look at them, what are your thoughts about them? Are they practicing these three? Are they practicing a little bit opposite? People are different, and you know what it is. But for your sake, you need to strengthen, deepen, maintain your nekkama sankappa, avyapada sankappa, ahimsa sankappa, so that you are practicing the sixth method under the Sabbāsava Sutta. Let's go back again here. Sixth method. Yeah, the sixth method before we go to the Bhavana side. Last one. That means there are a lot of akusalas that we may be creating when we are not bringing nekkama sankappa, avihimsa sankappa, avyapada sankappa. Can anybody tell me what are the what kind of defilements, āsavās that you may have if you are not properly managing yourself with the opposite of these three? Irritation, annoyances, right? Maybe hatred, self-hatred, regret, a lot of bad things. So if you practice the opposite, you are as such. Anyways, any questions?
Bhante,
Yes.
Karina, I just asked the spelling of sanya is a long A, right?
Yeah, sanya, as you can see here in the Gidimanda Sutta. Yeah, better show you.
Yeah, it's long A.
Yeah, you can see here. Yeah, sanya. There are three diacritical marks. Sanya.
Okay, thank you.
No questions? That means you are already practicing very well.
We are contemplating, Bhante.
Contemplate.
Yeah, we are
When you have to
contemplating.
contemplate. Yeah. Some people might not know that they are already harassing other people. That this is a very big concern in many places. They are harassing others, right? They are bullying others too. Like probably they don't know inadvertently, right? So they have to always look at, is my speech going to hurt other people? Is my action going to hurt other people? Or I mean, in my own sake, in my personal life, is my thinking going to hurt others? So you have to do a management concept, SWOT analysis. Look at the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats about your mental periphery. You can do it for yourself.
Bhante, you were talking about harassing others, like commanding people to do something. Is that considered as harassing?
I didn't hear the last thing.
Commanding people to do this.
Commanding. Probably the way how you do that. Maybe if you are a manipulating person, I think we are not supposed to control unless you are raising children at a certain point, and then we are respecting others. Manipulation is not good. But if you say that this is a very thin line, now we had to find out, draw the thin line. You might say, maybe my friend is going to do some akusala karma, so I'm going to stop my friend. Maybe I have to use some bad words, swear words. Some people might say so, right? So we have to draw the thin line over there. Basically, we are not going to control anybody. We're going to manipulate other people. Maybe we are trying to show them in a very friendly way, kalyana mitta way, in a very friendly way, so that you are giving the opportunity for them to become better, understand what's happening. Because when we are going to manipulate, other people walk away from us. Nobody likes to be controlled, right? Then you are doing even worse at that point, right?
So in other words, that we will try to avoid them.
We will try to avoid.
Not to associate.
But what do you mean?
Well, when they start doing the commanding what we call words and actions, so we just quietly take note and smile and then walk away.
Well, I mean, it depends on the connection we have to them. If you are husband and wife, it's a different situation. If you have children like that, we can't walk away. We have responsibilities, right? So it has to be decided on a case specific basis, right? Walking away is very easy, just walk away. Hi, bye. but I think there are more things to be done. I think Buddhist people are not running away from the reality. That is my belief. They are not running away. They accept, embrace the reality and do the necessary. But if they understand, no, we cannot do anything anymore, what to do? That's a different situation. But in that situation, we have to know the kind of the relationship you have, and then the kind of the situation and the urge to do as such. Yeah. And then we can think about it. If you are talking about a normal friend, yes, you try your best. Then you feel that this person also taking me to some unnecessary things, definitely you are going to walk away. You're going to say goodbye. But yeah, other than that, we have to know the particular situation. Someone is commenting over here, we need to be mindful at every moment in our daily activities so we can avoid doing unwholesome deeds. But it's not easy to be mindful. So this is the problem. So we have to be mindful. We need to be, but we can't be mindful. Actually, can we be mindful all the time? Tell me a very honest answer. No, we cannot.
Quite difficult.
Be mindful, and it's not going to be practical also.
Practice self-restraint.
What the Buddha said was that bring up wise attention. We're going to bring up wise attention to look at everything. But even bringing up wise attention is a challenge at certain points. So what I can say is that let's try to take care of our thoughts as much as we can. That has mindfulness, that has yodiso manasikara, wise attention, that has everything. Let's try our level best. Right? All right, any more questions about Sabbāsava Sutta or the method that we discussed today?
Bhante,
Yes, Sabbāsava.
yeah, you was talking about a Panchasila, the seal, all the 5 sealers. That's in the mind where you control. When it comes to your mind, you try to tame it down or whatever it is. But how about we practice? Since we are not killing, we put in our mind, we try to support, help, take care and all that. Then the other one also we do the same thing. Since we're not going to lie, we try to encourage others not to lie. That also will put us in practice also. To remind us, be mindful not to do that. Then on the drinking side, you also can tell your friends, come on, take it easy or something like that. Whoever you can control them. So when we keep trying to approach this way in a proper way, not to create any problem, it also helps us to be mindful also, isn't it? Into all the 5 sealers.
Yes, yes. I think that is your basic level to start off your spiritual journey. I think if someone take care of their precept very well, that itself has the mindfulness, right?
Yeah,
Not killing, not stealing.
Yeah, but if you put into practice, it will help you more. You see, like, okay, let's talk about the non-killing. You support every time you see there is animal or something which is hungry, you feed them. Then you bring back home, bathe them or this and that. You show all the sympathy, empathy, and compassion to them. So that's also put a lot of mind, action into our mind.
Yeah, what you are bringing up is a very interesting thing. Now somebody is talking about we have to be mindful, but mindful is a quality that we are trying to be on. But how can we be mindful? It's just sitting down and not thinking or maybe managing our thoughts. Actually, the best way to be mindful is that practicing those basic things. Now, as you said, when we are really taking care of other beings, then we are really focusing on compassion. So mindfulness is easy for them to practice. Right? When we are really taking care of other stuff, when we are behaving well, you need mindfulness, right? And the product of that precept will be mindfulness at the end. But if you are not really concerned about the precept, you are just trying to keep your mind onto certain thing, you might, you might be with that object, you might be going out of that object. So I think that is why Sila is very important. Sila is very, very important. Intentional, avoidance of the bad side, and intentional engagement of their good activities. When you are helping out somebody, any being, you are intentional about it. Yes. So I think even practicing Sila very well will make you a more mindful person. Right?
Yes.
I think that's a very, very, very good thing to learn. Actually, I mean, this is common sense,
Yeah.
But some people might think, no, I think they are not giving me enough mindfulness. I have to isolate myself and all that, right? Well, it's good for a monastic. I mean, for a lay person, you cannot run away from the society. You cannot run away from the other people. So whatever you practice, you have to do with other people. When we engage with other people, we will be more compassionate. If you are run away from the society, how are you going to make your Kalyana Mittas? Can you? You cannot interact with your Kalyana Mittas because those Kalyana Mittas have different interests. One Kalyana Mitta is into one thing. Other Kalyana Mitta is into another thing. Right? So I think one of the very good ways to be more mindful is that practicing precepts, Sila, in the proper way.
You're right.
Not even Sila, Dana also helping us to be mindful. Dana. If you do the right Dana, trying to...
Every good action is a good thing.
Rather do some more will make you mindful. You don't have to do extra things, extra. Nowadays, people might not take seriously about the Sila and the Dana. They just do it. Maybe this is our tradition or whatever. And they are thinking that we have to separately focus on the mindfulness. You don't have to. If you do your sila very well, if you engage in the dana very well, if you listen to the Dhamma talks very well, as you can see, many people, many lay people became Sotapannas just by listening to Dhamma talks. Only few monastics attain Nibbana by practicing isolated meditations. Right? Even you look at it, you look at the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, only Anya Konnanja, monk Konnanja became Sotapanna. The rest of the 4 monks could not. But it says thousands and thousands Brahmas became Sotapanna by listening to that Dhamma talk. Right? So I think there are, I think the ways of being mindfulness is not far from your normal life. It is inside of your normal. Try to find out those moments like Sadhiri said, 5 precepts and all that. All right. I think there are other questions. I'm going to then wrap this up from now. Let's transfer all the good karmas to the departed ones. May all the good karmas which we've been accumulating today be transferred to the departed ones. Passed away in the name of all of us. They may they be well and happy. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu. Idam me jnati nang sukhita punyatayo. Idam me jnati nang sukhita punyatayo. Idam me jnati nang sukhita punyatayo. May all the good karmas be shared by all the Deva, Naga, and Hendika. May they be well and happy. May they protect and bless all of us for good health, quality of life, prosperity, and all the good things. May they finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ākāsattha ca bhummattha devānaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu lokasasanam. Ākāsattha ca bhummattha devānaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desanam. Ākāsattha ca bhummattha devānaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu mang paranti chirang rakkhantu mang sadati. May we be in the company of Kalyana Mitras till we attain the Nibbana. Thinking thus, we're going to make the wish. Imina punya kammena mami bada samagamu satang samagamu hotu yavani nibbana pattiya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we've been accumulating today, by learning the sixth method of the Sabbāsava Sutta to overcome certain akusalas, starting from not properly managing our karma thoughts, what you call ill will thoughts and harassing thoughts, be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu. Sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silis nichang vadhyapachayino chattaru dhamma vadhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate saminjatu. Sadhu, sadhu. Right, with that, so the discussion is going to finish and today, and I'm wishing you a good night.
Thank you,
Okay,
Bhante.
next Friday.
Thank you,
Yes.
Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Bhante, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay.
Thank you, Bhante. Good night.